In studio right now is Nicole Siriano. Good morning, Nicole.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. And so tell us about your organization and what you guys do.
Well, it's Central New York Services. We have an array of different services that we provide, but most certainly what we're here for today is our outpatient services. We handle about 90% of our clientele is addicted to opiates. So we do a lot of
Does a lot of this come from prescription meds?
Yes.
So then you have pain.
Yes.
If you've ever had pain and you can't get rid of it, sleep is just almost impossible.
Correct.
And I think people just will do whatever it takes to make the pain go away.
Correct, yes.
Then you're hooked.
Then you're hooked.
Yeah.
Doctors have been prescribing these things for years and years and years, and with all the new regulations and changes that have gone on, there's a new thing called iStop, and that has really stopped doctors from over-prescribing. And heroin, unfortunately, right now is very, very cheap. It's about $5 a bag. And when someone's hurting that bad, that's unfortunately what they're going to. And, it doesn't discriminate to anybody anymore. I mean, we have people who are 13-year-olds that are shooting up heroin, and we have 72-year-olds.
Wow.
Of all race, color, gender, everything.
And sometimes it's not coming from pain. So a 13-year-old, is it because of pain, or is it because
no? It's because
peer
they went
pressure?
they went into their parents' medicine cabinets, and a lot of the kids right now are talking about just pill parties and just getting whatever that they can do, and just sharing everything. So it is really sad.
So it seems like it's pretty quick for some. It can happen pretty quick that addiction.
Fast. Yeah, very fast.
Wow.
It really can't. So talk about that. So I guess there's a reason why. So, for instance, when you take some of these medications, you have to. So on day one, by day 5, you're still taking 5 pills or whatever. Then you have to go to 4, and then to 3, and then a couple of days of 2, and then 1, and then you're off it. So is that an addiction issue? Is that why we have to do it that way?
Yes, you definitely have to wean down from the medication that you're on. But when you're using it for multiple months. And then you don't need it anymore, and your body just doesn't understand that they don't need it. So unless you actually do it the way that you have described the process weaning down, your body actually really needs that substance.
And the scary part is that these medicines, correct me if I'm wrong, can be prescribed for anything. Whether you got your wisdom teeth out or you had a minor surgery or anything.
Oh yeah, definitely. If you have a baby. Or if you go to the dentist, like you said, just because you have a toothache.
So, okay, are we seeing a change in the way these are prescribed? Is that going on right now? It's harder to get. I mean, you're seeing rules at pharmacies are completely changing.
Yes, that has changed, and what we hear that the new law states that opiates are only going to be able to be prescribed for 7 days. So even if you legitimately are not abusing medications, unfortunately, you're only going to be able to get a 7-day prescription.
So how do you get? And then could you go back and get it again?
Yes,
you could.
Yeah. As need basis.
Yes, but you're definitely going to be monitored now.
Okay,
that doesn't help the fact of what's going on currently right now, though.
Right. Well, what do you mean by that? So it's actually feeding the problem.
Well, this is, it is an epidemic. I mean, we haven't seen this ever. I've been working with opiate addicts for 14 years, and this is definitely a crisis.
Okay,
so you're saying the damage is done.
Yeah.
You've seen a change.
A huge change.
So talk about the difference. And so I know a heroin addict who has to take what is it, methadone?
Methadone, Suboxone.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he had to go to Syracuse maybe once or twice a week. Is it once a week or twice?
Well, if you're on methadone, you have to go 6 days a week.
6 days a week.
Yes.
And the only place you could get it done was Syracuse.
It is, and now I'm actually opening up an opiate treatment center, which will be opening up soon on the grounds of the old state hospital.
Okay, so that they won't have to travel to Syracuse anymore.
Right.
Wow, that's a big deal.
Yes, it is.
So I knew this guy, and he'd have to go. I didn't know it was 6 days a week, but I knew he had to travel constantly to Syracuse to get the shots, because without it, this is forever, right? Pretty much?
For some it is. Yeah. I'm not going to say it's not. For some it definitely is.
So let's go back 20 years, 15 years, 14 years, you said, when you started. You were dealing with guys like this that got hooked on heroin, and maybe women too, got hooked on heroin, and the numbers were like what?
We had in the clinic that I served, we had about 75 individuals.
Okay.
I mean, and there is other options. There was
Sure.
Amsterdam and Syracuse as well. Today, right now in the clinic that I run, we have 270 individuals just in the clinic alone.
Wow.
That is getting medically assisted treatment, and there's 4 other treatment facilities right in our own backyard.
And the difference in the type of person.
The difference is it could be you or I,
Yeah.
or him. It could be your grandmother now, and it could be your child. And we didn't really see that. Like I said, the age group is just there's just a huge range.
Yeah.
And it's anyone who's played sports and unfortunately got hurt, who was the valedictorian in high school, and they were prescribed opiates from their doctor, and now unfortunately they're burying their children. Oneida County has the largest amount of fatalities and deaths due to overdoses in New York State.
And this shot that is talk about. I'm sorry, I'm not really up on this at all. But the police department's now armed with
Narcan.
Narcan.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
And I've heard criticism of that. Like, really, it's an enabler. So you can OD, but we're going to bring you back to life. And what I've seen is it's instant. You're back up and everything's okay. I guess there's an argument there, but I don't know how you can't arm police departments with this and EMT people.
Yeah, I am a Narcan trainer, so I do go around and Narcan train from correctional officers to our clients to anybody who needs it just in their medicine cabinet. Unfortunately, I go around and do promote this, and I do act like it's just like having a blood pressure cuff in your cabinet today, just because of heroin addiction is affecting 1 out of 3 families right now. And it's really
1 out of 3.
1 out of 3
Wow.
families.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Can I also just mention these people, good people, they could be anybody, make for the greatest liars in the world. The talent that we humans have to be able to lie and deceive, and to do it so eloquently and incredibly well, is amazing. Am I correct?
It is, but it's a survival skill.
It's a survival skill. And I guess why I'm saying that is, if you suspect and you're fearful, don't, just because they looked you in the face and said everything's just fine, this is in your head, you are imagining this, sometimes you might be better off just following your instincts, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, and there's support out there. We have a family support group that we run every week, and we do have families that come out because they just don't know what to do or they feel alone. Your loved one does not want to be like this. It's just a way that unfortunately, they have to, and you use the word manipulate, to either get money to continue to do
once
this
it gets
or
to
not.
that level, it gets really bad. It can get really bad.
It does.
Illegal and many things.
Oh yeah, you could get
really
arrested, go to jail, and it
stealing
affects everybody.
from family members, and and doing things that you would never do to someone that you love and care for.
Exactly.
How often have you heard, not my son. I didn't think it was my daughter. There was no way.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. But the parents that I have spoken to or worked with said they knew it, they felt it, but you don't want to ever believe that is, is happening to someone.
All right, I want to take a break. We'll come back. I want to talk about the case that we have here before us, and I'd love to throw this at you, and maybe you can help.
Okay.
And maybe it just would make me feel better if the guy that called in was reaching out for help, and that maybe there's some place that he could get help. Okay? So we'll do that. The other thing is I'd like to talk about the warning signs, the things that you could tell people that, maybe there's a suspicion. Maybe there's none whatsoever. But maybe a bell will go off after you have what you say what you have to say. So We'll come right back. This is, when she says epidemic, it's a serious, serious problem that we have to face here. And realize that it's a real problem here, not just throughout the country, but in this area.